Hello everyone, today I have a quite exciting thing for you. I'm going to show you how I knitted this face cloth, and it wouldn't be anything interesting. And why would I put 3 videos in a row if that wasn't be the case that I am a right hand knitter and I knitted it using a left hand knitting techniques. Pure beginner. It is a kind of a tutorial, but halfway through I figure out that I will figure out how to knit, and I felt like a pure beginner knitter, and therefore I only looked up how to do backloop cast on method, and then I saw a knit stitch and purl stitch. I'm going to put those links down below just in case you want to see the real thing, or if you would want to hang out with me and check out how I do it, how I struggle with things. Keep on watching. And if you like it, you can make it. And definitely I would put a challenge for those who are right-hand knitters to try left-hand knitting techniques, because your brain is going to show you that you can start something that you've done for a while and feel like you're never had needles in your hands. Okay, on the screen, video number 1, the one that you're not watching now, I'll show you how to cast on to do backloop cast on method, just in case the long take cast on method is too difficult for you. And then the second video is going to be, I show you the knit stitch and purl stitch for the left hand knitters. However, I think I haven't done that right, but just bear in mind how to figure out, or how to get to the point to get a stockinette stitch working flat to make it look proper, because you can always fix things around in knitting. And that's why I also discovered that actually you can work flat without moving the work, and you can just do knit stitches. So either you do a knit stitch for a right hand knitters, and then you will do stitch for left hand knitters. And then basically you're knitting plain vanilla or stockinette stitch without turning the work flat. You may notice I'll be holding yarn in the left hand and right hand. I'll try to switch things around, but basically in knitting it is not really so important unless you're thinking that you're going to knit for a longer period of time and you want to create many items and as fast as you can, then yes, because think how you hold that yarn either left hand or right hand and how long it takes you to wrap that yarn around the needle. Are you wrapping it or are you just scooping it? And the third video is going to be the quickest one, because I'll show you how I bind off, which is quite an easy task, and because of that I figure out that I'm going to do a little chain, you know, while knitting, and then attach everything at the end with tapestry needle. And over here, boo, yes, I hold it in right hand, and probably I should hold it in left hand and see how it goes, but I didn't. So that's a warning for you. Without further ado, let's start. As explained, I'm going to start. I'm going to use a cotton yarn to knit a tablecloth. So if you're right-handed, go for it. It's going to be loads of fun. I think our brain needs sometimes to process differently. It looks quite unusual for right-handed knitters who've knitted for many years, so check it out. So first things first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do backloop cast on method for left-hand knitters, and before we do that, we do the same thing as we start. So first we need a loop like this, and the one from the top is going under that lovely lake, and we're going to pull it holding both together, and that way we can adjust the loop. I'm going to do reverse long tail cast on, but just in case that one will be difficult for you, this is something that you can start off. So we hold the needle in the left hand, and we're going to grab the yarn with 3 fingers straight to and go whoop, oopsie daisy, under. So if that happens to you, just put that stitch back on the left needle. And what we're doing, we're going under and we're pulling. Again, under the lake and we're pulling. I call it a lake, I don't know. And pull it. And you're casting on as many stitches as you need. My focus is playing with me, so hopefully you can see it. So we're just creating one leg of a stitch. Do you see this? So with the long tail cast on, we're going to have V's over here. So let's do that. For long tail cast on, you don't need this loop, but you need a tail and you need to know how long it needs to be. Therefore, I'm going to wrap it around the needle that many times I would want to have my stitches on my needles. However, this is a thicker yarn, so take into consideration that you may need a little bit more. So leave the yarn that you would want to wave in, and then I want 15 stitches, so let's go 20. Just something like this. So I know now that I wouldn't need that much. Okay, so this is the yarn closer to you from the tail, and this one over here from the ball. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold my needle in my left hand, but right hand creates something like this, right? We're going to scoop that yarn. Now stretch these 3 fingers like this, and we will use those 3 fingers to grab the yarn over here. Okay, and you can kind of help yourself like this too, to make sure everything is fine. And now the final part, we're going to do over and twist, okay? And that will be our first stitch kind of preparation. And then what we're going to do next, see, this is how you can correct. We have a lake over here and we have a mountain over here. So we're going under the lake, we're coming through the lake, we're going over the mountain, and then we're hopping into the lake. Okay, and then we're taking the thumb, and then we can actually use this thumb to push this yarn to tight over here. So now we can go back again, relax, and then again under the lake, over the mountain, under the mountain, and we're going back into the lake and releasing that thumb, and it helps us to tie the yarn over here. Under the lake, over the mountain, and we back through the lake. I have 15 stitches, and as you can see now that we have this kind of braid over here. So I'm not sure that I do it wrong, just to mirroring the long tail cast on. But this is my first attempt, so if you've done it before, let me know, is that the right way to do if you're a left-hand knitter? Therefore, I hope you enjoyed the first part, so let's move to the second part. At the end, you have 2 videos to choose. Subscribe, like if you want to follow my knitting and crocheting inspirations.